He's the new kid on the block, not like Marky Mark, but the actual new kid. That's right, he's a rookie. Nathan Rebo is his name, and playing hockey is his game. I cannot even take myself seriously with that opening. I am so sorry. The mom jokes are in full effect. I think the New Kids on the Block came out in the 80s, so you weren't even alive yet, and I really wasn't alive either, so there we go. Yep. I'm happy to have you here in studio as we chat about your rookie season, so thanks so much for taking the time to stop by.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I can promise you that we will try and stay away from the mom jokes for the rest of this interview, and we're going to do our very best on that. So, Nathan, first season in the OHL, coming into the season, what expectations did you have on how your rookie season was going to play out?
Yeah, I know it's going to be a tough year. Rookie seasons, they're not always easy, especially being a young guy on an older team. Especially an older back end like the defenseman that we have. Mm-hmm. So I knew it's going to be a fight for ice and a fight to get in the games, but it's kind of been the name of the game for me, and it's a challenge that I'm ready to face, and I think OHL is the next level, and I'm ready to play in it. So yeah.
So do you feel like transitioning into the OHL was as easy or as difficult as you had built it up to be?
Honestly, it just the first couple of games I got adjusted to the speed, and then from there on it was just gaining experience and playing more calmly with the puck and adjusting to that speed. But yeah, it's been a smooth transition, I think.
Do you think that being away from home has impacted your game? At 17 years old, it's not always being away from everything that you know and love. How do you manage?
Yeah, I think the living away from home aspect kind of places more of an emphasis on hockey, which I like. Mm-hmm. Playing last year back at home, you can kind of get distracted with your other hobbies and stuff like that. Whereas living up here in Sudbury, it's kind of the name of the game, and that's all you're doing. So I think it's been great. I get to just focus on hockey and my schooling, and I think it's been going great. That's
a really interesting perspective, because oftentimes we hear, I miss home, I miss my family and my friends from back home, but never really I've never heard an answer like that before, and that was a really great answer, because I think it does put it into perspective where you're coming here to play hockey, your focus is on hockey, how you can build off that and move forward in your career. So I think that was a great answer. Let's talk this season. How do you feel like your game has progressed from game one to today?
Yeah, I think it's definitely progressed well. The OHL, like I said, it's a fast league, and I think those first few games helped me to adapt to that. And then I think we practice. I think we practice as one of the hardest teams in the league. Mm-hmm. I know Coach Stillman takes that very seriously, and I think just the practices alone, I've been developing great. So it's been awesome.
So with Coach Moxham looking after the D-Corps, what do you think has been one of the most valuable lessons that you've been taught this season? And it could be something that he's maybe imparted his wisdom both on or off the ice.
Yeah, I think especially as a young guy, just not worrying too much if you make a mistake. Especially as a young guy, you're not really given those second or third opportunities that some of the older vets get. Mm-hmm. So when you do make a mistake, don't hold on to it too long and get over it as soon as you can. So I think that's been good.
So we've had lots of talks about consistency this season with the Wolves. As the Wolves have come down the stretch, what do you see the biggest difference maker in how this club wants to show up for playoffs? Because they're coming at this point.
Yeah, the consistency, we went through a little stretch there where we were losing some games, but as a team, we were practicing just showing up to every game the same and staying as consistent as possible. So it starts in practice, and like I said, we practice hard. So I think that's something that helps us show up to every game ready to compete.
You mentioned about the compete level that you guys bring to games, and one of the things that I've noticed with this hockey club this season is that you guys outwork almost every single team. Is that part of the strategy, being that there are some tough teams both in the East and the West, and this weekend is no exception, that you guys come to compete, and that compete level is so high because Corey Stillman has instilled that in you guys?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of teams in the league that play similar style to us. Mm-hmm. Like Mississauga, for example, they're pretty hot on our tail right now. But when it comes to playing teams like that, they match your style and they play the same way, system-wise. That's how you win games, just out-competing them. And and working harder. So yeah, that's definitely something Corey instills in us, and we work on it every day.
So thinking back on this season thus far, what do you think has been the greatest moment that stands out for you to this point?
I mean, there's been a lot. I would say just playing in front of my family. They came out to a few games, specifically the Windsor game where I had my first fight. So my mom wasn't too happy about that, but it was nice for them to come out and get to see them. It doesn't happen often with our schedule and stuff, but yeah, it was awesome having them there to especially see that. So that was fun.
Okay, flip side, what do you think has been one of the biggest challenges that you've faced this season?
I mean, it's similar to challenges I faced last season. Like I said, being a young guy on an older team and an older defensive core like that. Just fighting to stay in the lineup, fighting to get ice, and it's a good character builder, and I think I take that to heart, and I try to appreciate where I am, but I still know that there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and yeah, I got to keep working hard.
Okay, so in an effort to get to know you a little better, we'd love ourselves a good round of rapid fire here at Lace 'Em Up, where we get you to share all the secrets, all of them. We won't get you to share any secrets. It's okay. So the first question, we talked about this off air because there's going to be, I think, another little piece to this, and I kind of knew what the question or the answer was going to be before I even asked the question. Who's your favorite NHL team?
It's the Leafs. Yeah, sorry. They're playing tonight against Pittsburgh, so I know.
Yes.
We're going to be rooting against each other.
Yes, we are going to be rooting against each other, and I think we're going to throw a little something on social media as part of a little wager. I do not look good in blue and white, but I might have to for an upcoming broadcast, but we will see to that later. You'll have to tune in on social media. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. That's where you can find us. So tune into that a little bit later. Player that you most looked up to growing up?
It's probably a tie between Morgan Rielly or Drew Doughty. I like to model my game after him. I think he's, Morgan Rielly's more on the offensive side, where Drew Doughty, he plays gritty, he plays physical. So I try to pick apart their game and apply that to mine.
Okay. Any superstitions?
Left side of equipment always goes on first.
Okay. Favorite post-game meal?
Probably cereal. Just late at night, I don't know, maybe.
So you're not part of the McDonald's crew
No,
with Quentin?
no. Quentin, oh, you said that?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. Peach slices in between periods with Bill Hula.
Yeah, he's got his meal plan, yeah.
Who is the most serious in the locker room?
Probably our captain, Carson McCauley. He just he takes it seriously, so he's a good role model for that.
Okay. Who from the team is the guy that is always in the gym?
I'd say Picard.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always in there.
Interesting. Best prank this season. P.S. Keep it PG. Young children watch this show.
Yeah. I don't know. We really haven't had any too bad pranks, but I'd say clear tape on the skates is a classic.
That is a classic. Okay, the last one. This is a no pressure question. When do you score the first OHL goal? Is it Friday or is it Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nathan, thanks so much for stopping by. We've got more Lace 'Em Up coming up shortly, and you won't want to miss the highlight of the weekend.